Well, dungeons came back to the game, and everybody's been using carbide with those dual pistols bouncing around the walls, absolutely shredding everything. People are wondering, wow, that looks a lot like the Space Invader. I wonder if the Space Invader is any good, and I gotta tell you, it is an absolute monster. I was gonna have a running joke for the length of this video. It's so bad. Okay, so the Space Invader is not a normal weapon, all right? You're not meant to be just shooting this into crowds like I was. It can pierce through enemies, and it did energy damage back when that was worth putting in the description of the weapon, but it has not held up well over time, and you can kind of see why here. So the niche of this thing, the little shtick that this thing had, was the fact that it can bounce around walls, and for that purpose, it's really good. You can see me shredding a smasher here. With the recently buffed affliction damage, I had an affliction copy from Jolie. Thank you for dropping me one of these to try out for the video. You can see that it actually does okay damage. It hits it a bunch of times, but if you're not bouncing it around a confined space like, a box with a smasher, or, you can kind of bank it around a trap tunnel, but typically if you're going to set up traps, you want to stay away from those. I don't really see where this is useful. It's not, maybe a fun weapon if you find it in the dungeons on the ground and you don't want to use your lefty and righty with carbide, but yeah, I don't know what else to say about the Space Invader. If you really want to perk it up, we went with crit rating, reload speed, crit damage, and then damage to afflicted. Usually I get into all the different perk options, but this is one of those videos where I'm really just going to talk about the weapon because I don't think the perks matter. There are a couple of improvements that need to happen, though. I think that could make this weapon at least somewhat usable just for fun. The fire rate's great. The damage is honestly there. It's not that bad, but what you have is a 5-round magazine because it consumes 3 ammo per bullet. So you have 15 shots, quote unquote, but you consume 3 energy cells per shot. It's an extremely expensive weapon, and there are, better ways to spend it, but I think if they just made it consume 1 ammo cost and gave you the full 15 shots, it would actually be somewhat usable of a weapon. You wouldn't be reloading constantly. And with a base 3-second reload time, we basically needed reload, so I can't really recommend doing anything other than reload. You could up that mag size if you wanted to, but I don't really know that there's another way to go about it. So the Space Invader is a cool weapon. It's always been one of my all-time favorites. It's a nice little Space Invader pistol. Makes me think of the Space Invader video game, but it was kind of lost in the ages. People kind of forgot that it existed, and I have now brought it into the light to tell you that you can keep it in the collection book. This is kind of a weird video. It was inspired, honestly, because Carbide. Honestly, that's pretty much the only reason people have been talking about it. He is a fantastic way to play the game. He shreds apart dungeons and is super, super fun. You can get double Space Invaders where you never have to reload, and I think the damage is buffed by him. Don't quote me on that. I'm not sure about that, but I'll link my video on 5 awesome dungeon loadouts. He is at the end in the description below. You can check it out there. That is a super fun way to play, but the weapon that he's dual wielding isn't exactly anything too powerful. I was gonna say it's nothing special, but it absolutely is. It's a cool weapon. It's a novelty. It's fun if you're in the early game. If you're in Stonewood or Plankerton, this could be a super fun weapon, but not much else. Thank you guys so much for watching. Suggest me some other weird weapons in the comments below. I want to cover them all, all right? Like the video if you haven't liked it. Subscribe if you're new. Thank you guys for watching, and have a nice day. And then